What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Hall of Nerds podcast. I'm Nate.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Carson.
And I'm Mac.
Thanks for tuning in to this very special end of the year, New Year's Eve episode. Brandon, how about you tell us what we're doing today?
So we have a year of great comics, great movies, great figures, just all around amazing stuff that's come out. We are going to be having our very special Hall of Nerds awards. We have a whole list of amazing nominees. We're going to be going through each category and kind of just talking out who we think the best of the year is in that category. We are repping the Hall of Nerds shirts. We got the Stu colorway, Nate colorway, and the Matt colorway as well. So to kick it off, we are going with the best DC ongoing series of the year 2023. Our nominees are Batman Superman World's Finest by Mark Waid,
Of course.
Nightwing by Tom Taylor,
All right.
Superman by Joshua Williamson, and Titans by Tom Taylor. So Tom made it twice.
All right. Okay, Tom. I'm going to go ahead and start off by saying my vote is with Superman. However, I'm open to other books for sure. All four of these books deserve to be in the conversation. So
I agree. I haven't really dove into Superman yet, so I'm not really like super familiar on how that's going. I've heard good things about Joshua Williamson though. So
I mean, my main thing that I think why I think it definitely deserves at least like best DC ongoing of 2023 is especially given that number one started in 2023 and we got 9 issues. I think 8 or 9 issues, and it's just been straight up peak. Like, I mean, I think my second vote would go to Batman Superman World's Finest, just because I mean, even though it didn't start in 2023, what's happened in 2023 has been absolutely peak as well. So
I think it comes down to consistency too, because like they've all had their like ups and downs, but I like which one has been consistently getting better. I think Nightwing just hit kind of this like flatline area recently. Batman Batman Superman World's Finest had that like metamorpho arc, which wasn't like bad. It was just definitely like a more like it wasn't like uphill like the Kingdom Come arc is.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And I feel like Titans has been slow, but it's slowly like getting better and better, especially with Beast World.
I agree. I have really been enjoying Titans too. And that 6th issue that just came out this last week was really fire.
It's crazy.
The ending of it, that's a little I caught me off guard, like way off guard.
Oh yeah, seriously. The reveal, we won't spoil, I guess, but the reveal of Brother Eternity.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're bringing
I don't know how I feel about it, but
where are we? We're not spoiling?
We can. Spoiler warning.
Yeah. Okay. 3, 2, 1. It's Starfire's like bodyguard from Tamaran.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever she's Princess Xander, something like that. Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad they're bringing Starfire more to the front.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was a dope issue. I really liked it. I was curious on how they were going to handle it with Beast World going on. And I think Tom killed it. He handled it very well.
The question is why is he wanting to bring the Necro Star or whatever to Earth?
I don't know. I don't understand that either. But
it feels like there's a lot of different villains at work right now, especially with Amanda Waller and
I guess since we're talking about the best of 2023, since we have to wait till 2024 to even find out what we're talking about, might have to eliminate that one from this, in my opinion.
Bro wants Superman.
Well, what do you? No one's even making pitches. I think it should be Superman.
I mean, I would say the most fun I've had reading is definitely World's Finest because I feel like it just keeps getting better. Superman is definitely going to get better too, but I am iffy on the arc that's about to happen. I don't know.
Yeah, same here. But if you think about it, like I just said, that arc is about to happen in 2024. What happened in 2023, the 9 issues were amazing.
Well, yeah, then let's look at their stints in like 2023. And I think
exactly.
Consistently.
I gotta go World's Finest.
I think I do too. That Kingdom Come arc has been crazy. Dude, I honestly would say Nightwing if Nightwing hadn't slowed down recently.
True. Exactly. Nightwing's 105, the POV issue, that was super cool.
And then it kind of started hitting a little bit of a decline. Still good, but I think it's fair to have it between Superman, and then all Batman, Superman, World's Finest. And
agree.
I love them both so much. They're both amazing that I'm cool with giving them to either. I still will put my vote to Superman. What's the rest of the votes looking like?
Mac?
I haven't been reading either of the two.
Which one has the cooler name?
I mean, okay, I have heard lots of good things about World's Finest, not only just from you guys, but I have like every time I've gone to like the comic book shop and I've seen it, there's always like whenever it's coming out, there's always like 2 or 3 guys talking about it, saying like what's been going on. So just from that, I would probably give it to that.
The World's Finest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially with Mark Waid like pulling in like Kingdom Come, which he wrote like what 20 years ago.
I agree. It's absolutely continuity. It's been amazing. It's been amazing.
And I knew Thunderboy was going to be Magog. All right. I mean, I guess everybody
you were
else
right.
Knew that too.
You were right.
But...
I mean, I assumed, but I wasn't like sure. I just wasn't sure.
I really hope that the way almost every other volume has transferred something over to main continuity, like in today's reading, I really hope that happens with Thunderman, Thunderboy, whatever.
Me too.
Yeah, bring him over to main continuity.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that would be dope.
So then,
Stu, your vote is for World's Finest?
Yep.
So then,
well, I have not read Superman, so I think my vote is also going to be for World's Finest as well.
So that's fair. That's fair.
The Hall of Nerds
World's Finest is absolutely amazing.
Ongoing series is Batman, Superman, World's Finest.
Yeah.
There we go.
And Dan Moore. And Tom
Von
Villain.
Yep.
Can't forget Dan Moore.
Gotta shout out Von Villain for the colors, man. That's half of the work right there. It's
amazing.
And who does the backup art in World's Finest? There's like every now and then there's a little other artist in there.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
It's
I know
the same
you're
guy
talking
that
about
does Teen Titans, World's Finest Teen Titans.
Christian Deuce?
Is it? No, that's the
No, I don't know.
That's the Godzilla versus Kong,
but it is great.
Yeah, it's good. All right, moving on. Our next category, the best Marvel ongoing. I have little to no opinions on these.
I definitely do.
First off, we have Blade by Brian Hill. Second, we have Immortal Thor by Al Ewing. Incredible Hulk by Philip Kennedy Johnson. And Avengers Inc. by Al Ewing. 2 nominations for Al. What are we thinking?
I'd nominate Blade, Hulk, and Thor. I'm nominating all of them.
Yeah.
So it's really tough.
Those are I haven't read Thor, but I've heard lots of good things. But Blade is going crazy, and Hulk has just been such a ride from the start, and getting to dive into some of these characters and the different lore of the world. It's all been good.
I'm with you. I mean, it's tough. I want to say Blade, and I'm just gonna give it to. I mean, especially that last issue.
Last issue was awesome.
I'm assuming Brandon, you're not reading it.
No, I haven't read any Marvel.
Do you care to be spoiled?
Oh no, you're good.
All right, everyone else at home, spoilers for the Blades comic book. But in the recent at the end of the last issue, he drank Dracula's blood. So he's full vamp now, and he's about to I mean, and before that, the whole build up with the fights with the Donna, it's tough though. I'm gonna go Blade, but I'm cool with a Hulk or Thor, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm torn between Hulk and Blade. I think I'm liking Hulk more just because it's more horror-esque, but like Blade is also so. Oh man,
it's not that Blade has horror aspects to it, not as much as Hulk.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's definitely gory.
Hulk is kind of giving it like that old, like that folklore kind of stuff where it's like the
scary stories and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the way he transforms, dude, it's
crazy.
terrifying.
I had never read any Marvel. You showed me that panel.
Yeah,
and it was ridiculous.
But so I mean, like I said, I'm cool with Blade, Hulk, or Thor, but I'm gonna put my official vote in for Blade by Brian Hill.
I'm going based off of like word of mouth usually, and all I've heard about Blade is good. Same with, I mean, Immortal Thor, I've heard good things, and then the whole transformation of the Hulk, but like Blade, I've just been, every time I ask for Marvel recommendations, it's Blade every single time. So I think just off of that, I gotta go Blade.
Mine was between Blade and Immortal Thor.
Thor's
and I think I'll go Blade just because if we're just talking about what happened this year, Blade takes it. But I think the Thor story will be better when it's done.
I could see that. I could see that. I mean, yeah, Immortal Thor has been amazing, and if it took it, I wouldn't be mad at all.
Plus those Alex Ross
I'm gonna
covers.
go Blade. Yeah, the Alex Ross covers are crazy.
Amazing. So we're going.
So
yeah.
3 for Blade, 4 for Blade, Mac.
Yeah.
All right.
4 for Blade. All right. So the Hall of Nerds Best Marvel Ongoing Series goes to Blade. Moving on, we have the Best DC Limited Series. This is a series that started in 2023 and ended in 2023. So we have City Boy by Greg Pak, Batman Santa Claus Silent Night by Jeff Parker, which just had its last issue, World's Finest Teen Titans by Mark Waid, and Adventures of Superman John Kent by Tom Taylor.
Oh, I forgot that was a limited series.
It's City Boy.
6 issues.
It's City Boy.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I did forget. I like John Kent's run, but I also am a fan-ish of Injustice. But I would say City Boy overall was a much better 6-issue story.
Hell yeah. I think City Boy is the best character introduced this year. I know he got like his first appearance was late last year, but he didn't really have anything going on with his actual character until this year. So I think he's one of the best new characters in DC, period.
I agree.
I am biased. I am Korean, so
I like Teen Titans. It felt like Mark Waid was trying to do like too much at once, and he just kind of neglected Teen Titans and was like, "Yeah, we'll just throw them in this random story. It's completely unnecessary, and nothing really happens, but it's still cool."
Yeah, I can feel that. Mac, you have any opinions on these? Have you
only
read any
one I read was Silent Night, but I did hear like all sorts of good stuff about City Boy. I remember people going crazy over it. Like I like going
City
from
Boy's
hearing nothing about him to just like City Boy. So just word of mouth, I'd give it to City Boy.
That's just since it's a character no one really knew anything about prior, and he got so popular just off of how
Asian
good
representation.
Heck yeah! Don't forget Spirit World and the Vigil as well.
Of course, amazing. They were great.
I will say, Batman Santa Claus Silent Night was really good, and that last issue was really good.
It was a lot of fun.
It was awesome.
It was good. But yeah, I'd say that book in comparison to City Boy, like Santa Claus was a lot of fun. And it was really well written and everything like that. But in comparison with City Boy, I felt at least was just really good.
I agree. Yeah. Damien's little thing at the end of the 4th issue, like him acting like a kid, was all I needed for Christmas. That was the best thing ever.
That was dope.
I can't wait to reread that next year.
Totally.
It's definitely going to be on the rereads every Christmas.
Oh yeah.
So we're giving it to City Boy by Greg Pak.
Let's go.
Moving on to the Best Marvel Limited Series. Same as DC, got to happen this year and in this year. First up, we have Uncanny Spider-Man by Cy Spurrier. Then we have Deadpool Battered Blood by Rob Liefeld. Joe Fixit by Peter David. And finally, Cosmic Ghost Rider by Stephanie Phillips. What are our thoughts?
I forgot Joe Fixit came out this year. And since it did, Joe Fixit wins.
I didn't even know that there was a Cosmic Ghost Rider run this year.
Yeah, it was 5 issues. It was same as I think it came out on the same time as Joe Fixit, like around the same week.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I don't know. I was really dissatisfied with Joe Fixit because I was thinking, I didn't know it was going to be a limited series, but it was just a little too jokey, a little too cartoony for me. And then especially the ending, I was like, oh, none of this really mattered at all.
Well, yeah, it wasn't. It was. It was.
Well, I know. It's just, but
I thought it was so much fun. Have you two read it? Brandon or Stu?
No, I haven't read any of these. I'm just gonna give my vote to Deadpool Battered Blood because I've read Deadpool Bad Blood. So
that's fair. It was very interesting. Lots of yeah, the camaraderie and the aspect, like just the it's kind of like Murder World, because I'm pretty sure it was Arcade's sister, I believe, or something like that. And it was I liked it, especially because I had just read Murder World earlier this year, and I was like, oh, this is really sick. And obviously I love Deadpool, so
Yeah, that's right. I haven't read Bad or Blood or Bad Blood, so I don't have much to say there. I think Joe Fixit was a lot of fun. But other than that, I would go for Uncanny Spider-Man for sure. I thought that
I
was just
think,
straight up dope.
yeah, I think my pick's Uncanny Spider-Man, just because it's like I'm pretty sure it's the only one I've read out of those four, and I liked it.
I mean, it's
Uncanny was
Nightcrawler
good.
Spider-Man. You can't go wrong with that.
Right.
Facts.
Literally had me hooked. As soon as I saw the cover, I was like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm reading this
Facts.
whole thing.
Same.
That's
Same.
like
Yeah.
all you
So
needed.
yeah, but
I'm
then
cool with giving
even
it to Nightcrawler.
and it wasn't in Uncanny Spider-Man, but in X-Men Blue Origins with it had to do with Mystique and everything. The retcon there, very interesting. I know some huge X-Men fans are upset about it, but I thought that was kind of cool. But I'm gonna give it to Uncanny Spider-Man in the end of it all.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Deadpool snub, but okay. So the best Marvel limited series goes to Uncanny Spider-Man by Cy Spurrier.
Let's go.
Moving on out of Marvel and DC, we have our best indie ongoing. All right, got to give some love to the indie books. First up, we have Void Rivals by Robert Kirkman.
Yes,
I've heard really great things. Radiant Black by Kyle Higgins.
All right.
Something is Killing the Children by James Tynion. And finally, Saga by Brian K. Vaughan.
Well,
All
I'll just
amazing.
yeah. I was just gonna
Like-
say, starting off, yeah, they all deserve to be there.
Yeah.
Agreed.
When it came to Marvel and DC, it was like you could kind of narrow it down to two, but all of these things are just
Yeah,
amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah. Saga is one of the greatest series I've ever read.
I haven't
Radiant
read
Black,
Saga.
I've hooked immediately. I haven't read Something is
But
Killing Children, but I've heard great things.
mm-hmm.
I haven't read Saga or Radiant Black. I have the first volume. I've just yet to start it. Something is Killing the Children is absolutely insane. It's one of my favorite comic books, honestly, ever. I think I'll say that now. I just finished volume 5 today. That being said, I'm pretty sure volume 6 and volume 7 is what came out in 2023. So I don't really know if I can speak on it too much just because I haven't read what actually came out in 2023 yet.
right.
2020, I mean, volume 5 might have came out a little bit. I don't think so, though, given that volume 7 is what just finished, and volume 6 was prior to that, and that's it's about 10 issues. I would assume that was about the whole year. But so with that being said, I am gonna give my vote to Void Rivals. It was brand new, something I've never seen before, and I was hooked instantly from issue 1. I was like, yeah, this is a brand new universe that I know nothing about. The fact that it does have ties to Transformers and G.I. Joe make it even doper. But even alone on what it is, it absolutely amazing. It had me hooked from day one. All 6 issues are peak. Can't wait for the rest of it.
Yeah, I love Radiant Black, and I think I'm on book 3 of Something's Killing the Children, and it's amazing. I can't wait to continue to read it. But I think I gotta go same reason you went Superman earlier, because it started this year and it's been so good. I gotta go Void Rivals.
Yes, sir.
I think I know where Mac's going, and I think I'm not sure. I'm probably going to go the same way. I'm going Saga.
I'm going Saga. So we've had volume 10 and 11 this year, which both were like we're meeting new characters, getting to explore more of the world. Volume 11 though, I was so happy. Spoiler alert! I was so happy.
Wait, don't spoil.
No,
I haven't read it yet.
Don't
Oh,
spoil.
no, you haven't read
I'm
it?
like way behind.
I just finished volume 10. I just bought volume 11 like
Okay, well,
2 weeks ago.
there's a character that I get to see again that I'm very, very happy that I got to see. Let me just leave it at that. But
yeah, I agree with Saga. It's one of those things that was supposed to end, and then they just kept it going. And usually when they do that with a show or a book or a series, it's just like, you should have just left it where it was. But Saga has just been continuously building this world, and it's making me care about it, even though I'm not a big sci-fi fantasy fan. It's genuinely one of my favorite series of all time, and that's all it is sci-fi fantasy.
yeah, Saga was recommended to me by a friend when I first got into really into comics about a year ago. around this time, and I was like, this looks dumb, but they're like, you have to read it, and I checked it out, and I'm like, oh, like the first page, I'm like, somebody's giving birth, but what is going on here? And then I'm like a couple of issues in, and I'm like, whoa, this is like really good, and I finished the whole thing in like a span of 24 hours. The first
one compendium, yeah, I read in like 2 days.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I still think that being said, like I said, I haven't read Saga, but I would say we should still give it to the Void Rivals for 2 reasons. One, like you just said, volume 10 and 11, like, can we really consider that a 2023 book at this point? Volume 10 and 11, you know what I mean? World's Finest 3 and 4, that's still like getting. But second reason, Stu has read both. Not all of them, but he has read both, and he's voting for Void Rivals.
Yeah, I'm on book
He's the only one that's of all of us that's read both.
I'm on book 4 of Saga. I'm not too far in.
And you would say Void Rivals was better, in your opinion?
Yeah. And just like Nate was saying, like the ties that it has to Transformers and now G.I. Joe, it's so good. I would recommend it to anyone.
Mac, have you read both?
No, but I want to say something, but I don't want to upset anyone. But now, so Void Rivals, not gonna lie, know nothing about it. Didn't even know it was a book that came out this year. I just heard talk about it. But hearing that it's like tying into G.I. Joe and Transformers, it's like, I don't know, like I'm not trying to be like, it's not indie, but it very much is, I would say. But it's just like Saga though is just like it's just out there. Where else was this coming from? It's just a new world that we had, and
it's truly independent. Whereas
I see what you mean.
Rivals kind of
I see what you mean.
Transformers and
but
G.I. Joe.
Like reading it honestly doesn't. There's at least like in the Void Rivals 6 issues we have so far, like Void Rivals itself, like the characters in it, it's a completely different universe than Transformers and G.I. Joe. They just exist simultaneously,
right?
Within the same realm. Like, and so as of now, there hasn't really been any sort of crossover whatsoever. To where the point, like in Void Rivals, I think there's maybe 2 or 3 Transformer character cameos in the first 6 issues. Like, and it wasn't Optimus Prime. Like there was Jetfire. There was I don't even remember what the things are called, but
Megatron.
But like the like space pirate kind of like they like steal and sell things kind of guy. They look like a hog. I don't know. I don't remember the Transformer term, but like it's not. It definitely doesn't like lean on Transformers or G.I. Joe at all. Like it's definitely its own thing, brand new too. So
yeah, I guess I'm okay with giving it to Void Rivals just because Stu's read both, whereas we have not read Void Rivals. So that would be the only way to break the tiebreaker. So
and that being said, I am wanting to check out Saga. I just haven't yet. So
and I will go pick up the trade for Void Rivals when it drops.
See, Saga, I got to read 11 volumes to catch up. You just need 6. You just need to read 6 issues.
Get the compendium.
But still, you know what I mean, though. Like the reading.
I got it at Barnes and Nobles when Image was doing that buy one get one.
That's what I did.
I got the first compendium for Saga, and then I got Paper Girls at the same time for free. It was awesome.
I promise. If you cop all 6 issues of Void, or do you have them all?
No,
okay. If you cop the first 6 issues or the trade or whatever, you'll read it in 30 minutes. It's so good.
Yeah,
you won't stop, especially if you have it all right there. If I had it all, I would have been done in 30 minutes.
Well, the Hall of Nerds best indie ongoing goes to Void Rivals by Robert Kirkman. Moving on to 2023, the best character. Hyped about this one. There might be some debate here.
I'm ready.
First up, we have Spider-Boy, a brand new character, debuted in 2023. I feel like that makes him a little bit more higher up because he just debuted as well. Batman of Zur-En-Arrh, been ruling DC right now. Superman, Joshua Williamson's run has been crazy. Finally, Nightwing, who has just been pulled to the forefront of DC since Dark Crisis. What are we thinking?
I think it would be Nightwing if it wasn't for Batman Zur-En-Arrh and what just happened recently. Think about it this way.
I'm the biggest Batman fan of all time.
I disagree because of how many or what he's in the Batman run, and Nightwing is spread across a lot. Like he was in the City Boy miniseries.
I see what you mean. Let me just give y'all my quick little pitch for why I think it's Batman Zur-En-Arrh. All right. And it's going to be quick. Really, all I gotta say
2 hours
is
later.
Nightwing, like in comparison to Nightwing, sure, like I do think it does deserve to be him in the sense that he's like skyrocketed in popularity this year. Like compared to no other character, I don't think there's another character that could compare in how popular he got this year. So trending huge. His comics are amazing and everything like that. That being said, it's not like people haven't always loved him. The amount of people
Sure.
that love him is bigger, but people have always loved him. You know what I mean? Batman
Yeah.
and Zerna, before what's this year, people hated Zerna. It was like, if there's Zernas in a comic, I don't want to read it. Like, this is whack. Zerna's goofy. Like, now, complete opposite. Complete. So I guess I'm maybe arguing a little bit more for like comeback player of the year, but we don't have that
Yeah, I
award,
think
so
the
I'm
last
going
time
for Zer.
Zernar had been an important part of a comic was Grant Morrison's like Batman RIP arc.
That's what I'm saying. And
So,
depending on what happens here, like it could change Batman forever.
yeah. I see if it was Batman, if we were arguing for Batman, I would understand. But Zernar, like you said, yeah, he's very high in like DC right now, especially with the Batman run. But he's a new player. You know, he's a rookie.
No, he's
We've had it
comeback of the
before.
year.
Yeah, maybe, but like I feel like Nightwing, especially since Dark Crisis, has like it's a really hard to take this sidekick character that was used to be a Robin that's now just a leader of a team of former sidekicks and bring him to the forefront of DC and for people to just accept it. Be like, all right, no more Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, no more Justice League, Nightwing and the Titans are the forefront of DC. For people to accept that, you gotta give them a really good character.
Yeah, no, and he is a really good character. I think he's definitely a better character. Like, don't get me wrong. I think Nightwing is 100% a better character than Zerna. But I just think for this year alone, like Nightwing's been a good character, but Zerna hasn't, and now he is in 2023. You know what I mean? So that's just where I'm coming from. If Nightwing wins it, I'm not mad at it at all because I do think he deserves it. But just the way I'm looking at it is in the sense that Nightwing, everyone's always loved Dick Grayson, everyone's always loved Nightwing. People have never really fucked with Batman Zerna until this year.
What about you, Mac? What are your thoughts on it?
I was probably going to go with Nightwing just because I just read Leaping into the Light and I really liked it, and I'm liking his character a lot in there. Like he's like not just like who he is on the streets, but who he is as a person as well. But I'm probably going Nightwing.
That's fair.
My vote's Nightwing as well.
I'm not mad at that at all. Yeah, he definitely deserves it.
The Hall of Nerds 2023 Character of the Year goes to Mr. Dick Grayson, Nightwing.
Let's go, Richard.
Moving on, probably my most anticipated category, we have the Best Writer of 2023. Our nominees are Writer of Deceased, War of the Undead Gods, Nightwing, Titans, Dark Knights of Steel, Tom Taylor. Writer of Superman, Night Terrors, former writer of The Flash, we have Joshua Williamson. Current writer of Batman, Superman, World's Finest, Teen Titans, World's Finest, Shazam, and Kingdom Come, we have Mark Waid. And finally, superstar Marvel writer who has been mentioned multiple times so far. So you know he's good. We have Al Ewing.
I don't know.
That's rough. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I was between Tom Taylor and Mark Waid for a while, but personally, out of everything that was written this year, even though I think World's Finest is the best comic, I think Tom Taylor is the better writer. Because of everything he wrote this year, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Same
not
with Joshua
all
Williamson.
time, not all time.
Great as well, but Joshua Williamson, like looking at everything he's written this year compared to the others, it's just I feel like consistency is definitely a big factor.
Yeah. Man, it's tough. I think,
and then there's Al Ewing, which I don't really big buy, but
I think Al Ewing really deserves to be up there. I mean, Immortal Hulk or more Immortal Hulk. Thor Hulk came out years ago. Immortal Thor and Avengers Inc. I haven't read Avengers Inc., but I've heard nothing but good things. Another one I want to just throw out there that I was thinking of is I don't think he necessarily will win, but Philip Kennedy Johnson. I mean, he's got Action Comics going on. Green
Hulk.
Lantern, War Journal, Hulk. Like I remember when I was thinking of who I wanted to nominate, I didn't nominate him obviously because he's not there, but he was definitely just a name I wanted to at least get out there to recognize.
Jeremy Adams as well with Jay Garrick Flash and Green
Lantern.
Yeah, it was tough picking it, like nominating a top 4 for this one because there's so many great writers this year.
Right.
But like I guess for me, it all comes down to Dark Knights of Steel, Undead Gods. He's writing Titans, Nightwing, and Beast World all at the same time. My vote's got to go to Tom Taylor. He's my favorite writer of all time. It's biased, but I got to take Tom Taylor.
I think I can give it to Tom Taylor as well for that reason because like I'm looking at all these other ones, I'm kind of looking at it in the sense of like this year in particular compared to their previous years. Tom Taylor really had a standout year this year where like Mark Waid in particular it's not like he's always been Mark Waid.
Yeah.
So Tom Taylor.
Yeah. And it's no like I'm not demeaning his writing in any way, but Tom Taylor's just easy to read, if that makes sense. Like the way he writes is so investing that it's so easy to just sit down and read an entire book through. Like I know I'm into a book when I don't know if y'all do this, when y'all finish an issue in a trade and you like put the bookmark in and you go do something else and you come back and read the next issue. I know I'm really into it if I don't do that and I just go to the next issue, and just continuously read it the book.
That's something just killing the children.
Yeah, I know. Sure. I have the first volume. I need to start it. I want to get all of them so that I don't have to like finish it, then buy another one, finish it, then buy another one. I just want to be able to read the whole story.
Yeah,
I feel you.
I just want to say that like definitely I'm agreeing with Tom Taylor just because what really got me into DC this year was Night Terrors and the Titans, and like that's the only reason I'm like adventuring out to seeing like or reading other like DC like modern stuff, and obviously I did Nightwing. I'm not caught up on Nightwing, but I've only read the first volume or whatever. But like just that, even though it's not this year, just that's like I can tell this is going to be like a classic.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's even more of like a point of why I should win right there is because you're kind of a Marvel reader and he brought you to DC using Titans, which is not this like huge team. They just recently turned them into like the forefront of DC. So the fact that he could bring a new reader in through that team of heroes that isn't as popular as the Justice League, and the writing must be there,
100%.
So our best writer of 2023 goes to Tom Taylor. Moving on to some art, we have the best interior artist of 2023. Our nominees are Jorge Jimenez, Batman; Bruno Redondo, Nightwing; Dan Mora, Various; and Riccardo Federici, who does what does he do?
He did more of his recent work was in Night Terrors.
Oh, okay, Night Terrors. So he was the one that did the art that wasn't Howard Porter.
Yes.
Okay. That's good because that was the only art that I liked in that whole series was the stuff that wasn't Howard Porter.
I'm not sure. Well, I'm not sure how I think I can't remember if it was just the Batman run or if he branched out to other stuff. But the Batman, like the Night Terrors Batman, was the one that I liked the most, and that it like I could ramble about it, but I like that. I loved that.
I agree. I think Batman's Night Terrors art was the best of the Night Terror series, for sure, for me at least.
I don't remember exactly, but I think I can agree with that. I think it's clearly Dan Mora, though, because Dan Mora, I think I'm going to argue the same thing for cover artists, but he just, before 2023, Dan Mora was primarily an indie artist. Primarily, he's worked on DC and Marvel stuff prior, but for the most part, it was indie, and so he was fairly underknown for that part. And now all of a sudden, 2023, he's on World's Finest. He's on Shazam. He's on TMNT Power Rangers. He's on he's on a variant cover every other week. Like he's just pumping out art after art after art after art. He's never had a year like this. I think it's got to be Dan Mora.
That's why I said Various, because I couldn't pick a series to name him for because he's done so much stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I would say really close for interior is definitely Bruno for me because of the way his art captivates a story.
Totally.
Better. I feel like Dan Mora's art is what I wish every comic book would look like, though, if I'm being completely honest.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I see where you're coming from with Bruno Redondo, and I mean the fact that that Superman issue 9 is is included in 2023. The way he illustrated that, I mean that shit was beautiful. So Redondo definitely. I mean, and we can't forget about Jorge. The way he's been doing Batman
Jorge,
has
I feel
been
the same way about Jorge that you
insane.
feel about Bruno.
That's
it's like
fair,
he captivates like
the
Batman
way the way he's been drawing Batman, especially this fail safe or mind bomb arc. Holy, it's been. But that being said, I'm still gonna give my vote to Dan Mora.
Yeah, and I think like Brandon, we could probably agree that like Dan Mora draws Nightwing and Batman the best, or at least I think so.
I think Dan Mora. See, I've always been on the ropes with Dan Mora and Jorge. They've always been 2 and 3 switching because Jim Lee's always my number 1. But Jorge and Dan Mora have been flip flopping. Every single time I read a Dan Mora art book that he's drawn, it flips to him at number 2. Then Jorge flips to number 2, and it's so tough. But I think just looking at what they've done this year, Jorge's done great with Batman, but Dan Mora's just done everything. And I agree with Stu. It's what I want every comic book to look like. Like if Batman's run was in Dan Mora's art, I wouldn't complain. But I do love Jorge. So I'm gonna go Dan Mora.
Dan Mora.
Yeah.
The best interior artist of 2023 goes to Dan Mora. Now it is time for best cover artist of 2023. Got some bangers on here. First, Mr. 1 award already, Dan Mora, looking to win his second. Second up, we have Gabriel Dell'Otto, who has been doing a lot of great variants recently.
All right.
We have David Nakayama with his negative space variants. And finally, we have Peach Momoko with all of her Nightmare variants.
Preface this by saying all amazing artists. David Nakayama is one of my favorite cover artists of all time. That being said, he's been putting out heat since day one. Like my same argument for interiors for Dan Mora. He's never had a year like he's had this year. I think it's Dan Mora, and I think we can rebrand it, not even to interiors and cover artists, Dan Mora, artist of the year.
I'm going to let you finish. Gabriel Dell'Otto had the greatest performance. I'm just messing with you. I gotta go Dan Mora as well. Yeah.
I agree. I mean, yeah, dude, like his art is just insane.
I think that this is bad because I normally don't, and this is why I said Peach, but because I normally don't pay too much attention to, like, I get a comic book, I just read it and I read all the way through. I do like pay attention in terms of the artist and all that kind of stuff, but every time I've seen a Momoko cover this year, I'm like, I recognize it immediately, and it's just something about like it's like the grotesque and like the kind of like watercolor, but not really watercolor like style of it. It just draws me in.
Totally,
like,
it's amazing. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, I have a lot of Marvel on my pull list. That's just on my pull list for the Momoko variants.
Yeah, Peach Momoko is amazing, and with what I said, I don't mean to discredit any of the other artists who were nominated, but I just think they've all been amazing. Not that Dan Mora hasn't, but he's never had a year like this. I don't know if it's been a while since a comic book artist has had a year like this. But
yeah,
bros, it's like with Dan Mora, it's every single time there's a cover, whether I'm reading the series or not, I'm picking up this cover.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I'm dropping an extra $6-7 just so I can
exactly. And that being said, I'm the same way about David Nakayama, if not more. Like I like David Nakayama as a cover artist, specifically not interiors, but as a cover artist more than I like Dan Mora. But I've liked David Nakayama as a cover artist for years. I've only liked Dan Mora. Started liking him like passionately this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This breakout season.
That's what I'm saying. That boy is.
What are our votes?
Mora.
Mac?
I'm going Momoko, but I mean,
respect.
I'm gonna go Momoko.
Oh,
I'm just messing. It is Mora.
Oh, I was gonna say.
I was like, after everything I just said.
Force the tiebreaker. All right, so Dan Mora walks away with 2 awards, both in the Artist of the Year, Interior, and Cover.
So go ahead and rebrand that. Artist of the Year.
Favorite categories. Best comic book moment of the year.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
Absolute bangers. There's some sad ones. There's some great ones. There's some all-around mind-boggling ones. Starting out, we have I Love You, Dad, Nightwing 100. The speech leading up.
I don't think I need to hear the rest.
That was this year.
That was
Shit.
January. January did come out. Number 2, we have Batman Traveling Multiverse, Batman 135, just to see all those
Fire.
Batman variants. Arkham Batman, just
Damn,
amazing.
Yeah. Okay,
Was
that
cool.
was
The change revealed. Superman number 6. I did not read Superman, but I did see the reveal, and bro looked heat.
It was dope.
It was dope. Lastly, we have Batman comforting his younger self in Batman Night Terrors number 2. Another very heartfelt moment. Dealing with his own insecurities and, the loss of his parents, being able to talk to his younger self who just went through that trauma. Another very sad but bittersweet moment. Let's talk about it.
I just gotta say, after I was thinking about it earlier, but after Brandon just saying that, it got me chills. That was my nomination, but just I moved back in with family again now, but I had read that a couple months after I had moved out on my own. My family had moved out of state, and just saying, this is your family now. I'm thinking about all of the friends I had made in my town, and the found family that I had built over the years, and realizing I wasn't alone. It's just that that was the first ever comic book moment to ever make me cry. So I had to put it on the list or as my nomination.
I will say, when it comes to moments that made me cry, I Love You, Dad. It got me. I was genuinely.
Yeah. I think it's going to be hard to argue against that being the number one. But I mean, I just think I put Superman in there, the chain revealed. Like we talked about before, I mean, we were talking about Stu, when we read that, we were like, dude, I don't remember the last time I was this hyped. I seriously can't remember. I read that when I was like, nah, bruh, a month. I was literally I hadn't, like I said, I couldn't remember the last time I was that antsy about reading a new comic book, where the Nightwing Batman moment was awesome, but I don't know. I don't think it didn't fill me with that much excitement, I guess. And when I think of moment of the year, it's exciting or crazy or something like that. Not necessarily something as sentimental, but I do think that Nightwing Batman moment is, if we put that through, I'm not mad, but I think it's chained.
I have a honorable mention. I personally think it was really cool when Nightwing got powers and went to space with Superman.
Yeah,
that whole
that
dialogue
was
a really good
that was awesome. That was awesome.
Mac is not at that part yet.
Yeah.
I literally, Mac asked me about powers in the group chat, and I was like, "Oh, you mean when Nightwing got powers?" He's like, "Dude, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet."
I mean, I haven't read that part either,
so,
but I knew it. I knew it happened.
But I probably agree with the dad, Nightwing. I love you, Dad.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that.
I think there are a lot of moments in comics where it's I'm hyped, like you said, but a moment has to be written so good to make me genuinely cry. It has to be the perfect build up and just the perfect dialogue to hit me in the feels. It doesn't take much more than a giant hulking figure in the dark to make me hyped. Oh, who's this bad guy gonna be? I'm hyped.
Yeah, but it's different. This one was different.
It was
true. I haven't read it yet.
Different.
It was crazy.
But I also agree with Mac, that moment when he's comforting his younger self. I'm a sucker for Batman,
Totally.
So that's another one that I'm just kind of on the fence with. But we've seen this Batman that has not embraced his family recently. So to see him tell Nightwing that he's proud of him, and to bring him to the forefront of DC, and then to see Nightwing just be like, "I love you, Dad," and then hug him, I was just.
I do think I think it's a more impactful moment, so I'm cool with putting it through.
Yeah. And same with Batman 135. Absolutely hype. One of the best
definitely
issues.
Yeah.
Another honorable mention.
That was so cool reading that.
In fact, another honorable mention from Batman I thought about nominating was when Batman breaks Joker. Zerna.
Yeah.
I mean,
or when he wakes up and fail safe.
Yeah, exactly. Just kind of that whole that end arc of that issue.
Another really cool thing that happened this year was when, I'm not going to spoil it because I don't think everyone's reading it, but when Sinestro did what he did in the new Green Lantern run.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't read it,
true.
but it's gonna take me so long to catch up on Green Lantern, so I don't mind if you spoil it. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so basically he has a yellow ring, but it's fueled by rage. Like it's a red, like he's a red lantern with a yellow ring.
Oh,
So he's like a Red Lantern right now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Bro, the
crazy.
Lantern stuff is going crazy right now
Oh
in
yeah,
all of the books. Like, there's so much stuff going on.
yeah. War Journals.
Yeah, did you read that recent issue? He's like
Issue 4.
his new ring. He got a new
Yep.
ring too. So like,
Yep.
there's so many rings going on.
It's crazy.
Dang. When are they gonna start fusing rings? That's what they need to do.
That'd be
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
I don't know.
Because like a lot of emotions go hand in hand. You know, you can't have
I mean, bro,
empathy
if you think
without
about it,
love.
Sinestro kind of just fused the ring. If you think about it.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Rage and fear do go hand in hand. Like
that
it's cool
also-
how emotions would work together.
That also happens like in Young Justice season 4. The he was actually in a recent Green Lantern issue, but Razor, he has a blue and
Yeah.
red ring, and he like wears both, one on
Yeah,
each
he
hand.
just
It's
pulled
sick.
up in.
Hmm.
Did he
Was
pull
it
up
the
in Green
newest one?
Lantern or was it War Journal?
No, I think it was Green Lantern because I think he pulled up on Hal.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
you're right.
because
Yeah.
it was about Kilowog. It was about Kilowog.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, dude, that was
Yep.
crazy.
Bro, but
Yep.
just imagine like 2 rings on one hand, and when they like shoot them, like they like arc
Yeah.
together like
That's
Ghostbusters.
crazy.
Like
That sounds
That-
like
would be
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
crazy.
All right. Anyway,
All
though,
right.
are we giving it to I Love You, Dad?
I
You're
am.
giving it to I Love You,
Yeah.
Dad.
Go with that.
Hall of Nerds 2023 best comic book moment. We have I Love You, Dad from Nightwing 100. Moving on to movies, we have the best comic book movie of the year. I think this one will start some debates. First off, we have Across the Spider-Verse. Second, we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Third, we have The Marvels. And 4, we have Blue Beetle.
Never saw the Marvels,
I
so I'm
haven't
not going
seen
to
the
talk
Marvels.
about it.
Y'all never watched The Marvels?
It's not on Disney Plus yet.
I mean, I
That was-
nominated Blue Beetle, but y'all need to watch Marvels. It was pretty good.
I'll
Without
see it when
seeing-
it comes out.
Yeah, I'll see it when it's out on streaming, but without seeing it, I don't think I can confidently say I don't think it's going to compare to the other 3 here.
Oh no!
Facts.
To be
Blue-
honest, I just needed a 4th nomination, and there were no other great
fair.
comic book movies.
Blue
Yeah, I've
Beetle,
just seen all of them
amazing.
in the Marvels.
You could
It
have
was-
put
it was good, but not
TMNT.
crazy.
Could have put TMNT.
You should have put
I guess that
TNT.
is a comic book movie.
But
yeah,
I'm going with Blue Beetle is peak. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is peak. Across the Spider-Verse is perfect.
Agreed.
yeah.
I already know these two dudes
I
are
don't
going
know
with Guardians.
because here's the thing.
I'm going Blue Beetle.
What?
Respect, but come on, bruh.
Oh,
Blue
for
Beetle,
both?
best
Blue
comic
Beetle
book
was
movie of the
cool.
year.
Man.
The villain alone makes what it can't be, bro. Come on.
But second, I'll give it to Guardians. I will give it to Guardians a second. If I have to fold to Guardians to make sure it beats Across the Spider-Verse, I'll do it.
Bro,
It's
it
just
is
a
Across the
perfect
Spider-Verse.
way. No, bro. Okay, Across the Spider-Verse, those two amazing movies. But Across the Spider-Verse, it was amazing. Yeah, we got to see all these Spider-Man and everything, all that. But it's also just like, I think that's the only reason that people are really. I mean, unless you guys have some other reason you can pull out of your ass right now, it's that everybody's just like, oh, we get this guy, we get this guy, we get this guy. Like, yeah, this like the spot is cool and everything, and like it, but it's just like, I don't know. The ending I kind of could
The
say
ending
was a
sucked.
mile
awesome.
away.
The ending sucked.
The ending
That's
was
what
The
it
ending
is.
was
awesome.
not that
I'll say
good.
it
ending
hands
was
down.
The ending was
awesome.
not that good.
I have been saying it since the moment I saw the movie. The ending was abrupt. It came out of nowhere. It didn't leave me like, oh, I have to see the next one. It was just like, oh, this felt like half a movie.
Aren't you the
Because
one who
it
told
is-
me
it is half
that
a
you see
movie.
No,
comic
but
book
no,
movies
that's not
like
the same.
comic books, so when it ends on a spoiler or like on a cliffhanger like that, that's just what a comic book does. You
No,
were the
but
one
there's
who
a difference
said
between a
you look at
cliffhanger
comic book
and it
movies
felt
like comic books.
unfinished. Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame, that was a cliffhanger. That didn't feel unfinished. Across the Spider-Verse, I felt like I was watching the movie, and it was like, it felt like I was in the middle of the movie when it ended. If that makes
Exactly.
sense. Like,
I disagree.
Exactly.
I didn't.
I felt like
I knew
could
it was
sit there
ending.
for another 2 hours or whatever. and
I
watch
thought
the
I
rest.
was going to be at least there for another 20, 30 minutes, and then it just ended, and I was like, what? Like, it left me
That
unsatisfied.
ending was fire.
Dude, when he ended up in the universe, I was like, oh, bro, Miles is going to be Prowler. It was very predictable, like,
Yes.
as well.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. I think the soundtrack
Bro,
was
you're trying to
great.
tell
I
me
just think
Guardians
Into
is
the
amazing. You're
Spider-Verse
trying to tell me that
was
shit
so
wasn't
much better.
predictable.
Huh?
Oh no, nothing this year touches the soundtrack of Across the Spider-Verse.
That's fact. I
I
mean,
agree. I
Guardians
can agree with
soundtrack
that.
was great, but it wasn't. Yeah, soundtrack.
Yeah.
Across
The
the
only
Spider-Verse is
reason
one of the
Across
best
the Spider-Verse
soundtracks
had a better
like out there.
soundtrack is because it was an original soundtrack, and Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was just
True.
already made songs.
Yeah.
Is the only reason I give it to Across.
That's true.
I just gotta say something because I know all y'all. I was about to say all y'all white boys, but sorry, Nate. But
Y'all, you're the whitest one.
I just listen to every time y'all talking about
You 3.5
Drake's
white
drop,
boys.
Drake's better drop. Oh, Kanye's better drop. Kanye's better drop. I just gotta say, y'all don't. I mean, maybe I like a little bit of Kanye. I like a little bit of Drake, but like y'all don't know what good music is. Like when I heard. Oh, bro, no. Guardians 3 had some heat in there.
Look, I agree. It's a great soundtrack. No one's disagreeing. That is a great soundtrack, but it's not an original soundtrack, and that is why Spider-Verse soundtrack is better. Because facts. It is all
and
original.
Matt's pulling shit out of his ass because rap is like my 5th top listened to genre.
It's my one, but
so.
But wait, what's your number one? What do you listen to? Like
most listened to is probably rock or like Americana folk.
Oh yeah, I rock with some Americana folk. Yeah,
if you know, you know.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I listen to Bach and Beethoven. You know, that's what I listen to.
I mean, but I think Guardians is amazing. It's one of the best movies of the year. It would be the best comic book movie of the year if Spider-Verse didn't come out this year. I mean, Guardians, I don't have anything bad to say about it. But that being said, I don't have anything bad to say about Across the Spider-Verse either.
I like the thing about Across the Spider-Verse. I liked seeing Miles grow even more and becoming more of his own person, even though he was surrounded by all these people who were supposed to be exactly the same as him, and he was supposed to go with the system, go with the flow, but he chose not to. And that's where I'm confused on like why you guys think it's like not the best story-wise.
I think it's a great movie. I gave it a 9. Like, I'm not saying this, but I gave it a 9. I just think Guardians of the Galaxy is a 9.5. I think it's just a little bit better. Like, in no way is Across the Spider-Verse a bad movie. I just think it's kind of an overhyped, like, this is the perfect comic book movie, best comic book I've ever seen. It's like, for me, it just wasn't that, you know? It's like Spider-Man 2. I think a great movie, a 9, easily a 9. It's just, I don't think it hits that 10 that everyone, like, plays it out to be.
It's the best Spider-Man.
It does.
Movie, that's
the best Marvel comic. It's the best Marvel comic book movie.
That's besides the point.
But yeah, that we're not talking about that. We're talking about the best movie 2023 being Across the Spider-Verse.
My vote's going to Guardians.
Yeah, I'm going with Guardians.
All right. Y'all said before tiebreakers go into the comments, so
yeah,
run up
tiebreaker is officially going.
Y'all know it's not even going to be close.
Guardians. It's Guardians. James Gunn doesn't miss.
That's true.
Oh, just tell me when in Across the Spider-Verse you found yourself crying because of a CGI raccoon.
I didn't cry in Guardians. I didn't.
I teared up, but I
didn't cry in Across the Spider-Verse either.
But I teared up.
Yeah, I don't. I mean,
the only thing I teared up to
you didn't cry. You soulless human being.
No, I just don't be like crying like that. And I'm not even just saying that. I just don't
be like crying.
No, I just don't.
The raccoon was getting tortured.
I get sad, but I don't like. It's just like it don't like water out or anything.
I would
maybe
say
like
the saddest
a tear,
scene,
but not like I ain't never be crying.
Like the saddest scene in Guardians 3 is when all the raccoons crawl onto him.
100%.
Yeah, the like origin and torture and stuff. That's sad, but like it's not. They didn't make me cry.
Nah, when his friends died and Rocket's just sitting there yelling, dude. I'm telling you, I was crying, dog.
Yeah, no, it was very sad. It was.
You know the thing that Nate's eyes don't do? Mine was doing that a lot. All right,
there you go. Yeah, and that's not a bad thing. I'm just like, I think they're both 10 out of 10.
I mean,
I personally think Across the Spider-Verse is the better movie.
That's fair. I think we can leave it up to the comments for sure.
Yeah,
the best comic movie of the year.
And if it's not those, let us know. Also, if it's a different one.
You got any other opinions?
Shazam was robbed. Shazam was robbed.
But if you do say a different one, still also say what's your vote for these, because that's just for our overall pick. Still say that. So,
all right. Well, now that we've kind of met a stalemate on the best comic movie, I feel like it'll be a little bit easier to decide what the worst comic book movie of all time is. Not all time, just 2023. Not all time. My bad. It's just 2023. Yeah.
Should be easy, but I already know you're gonna disagree.
First up, we have Shazam: Fury of the Gods.
Not the worst.
Second, we have The Flash. Third, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And fourth, we have Black Adam.
Bunch of turds, but Quantumanium's the worst.
Black Adam came out this year?
Yeah, wait, Black Adam came out this year?
It did. It did come out this year. What do you mean?
Really?
It came out
in like
January? Did it come? Yeah,
I thought it was like late last year, but I don't remember. Either way, it's better than all of those.
No, it came out this year.
Really? That's crazy.
It's better than the other three, though, either way.
And if it didn't, then don't roast me at home, everyone watching. But I'm pretty sure I did the research.
At home.
Do that.
No,
don't roast him.
Either way, though. Either way, I think it's the best of those four.
And roast him in real life.
Yeah, find my address and kill me, please. I don't think there has been a single bad comic book movie this year. I think there have been some very average comic movies. I don't think there's been a bad one.
That's a fair take.
Yeah.
That's a fair take.
Yeah.
I think Quantumania is the worst, though.
I think Shazam is the most average of all of them.
Yeah, Shazam was just so... The first one was so good, and then it's just you could tell like it's who's this new cute girl he has a crush on? Oh, I hope nothing comes out of this. Oh, she's a bad guy, man. Who would have seen that?
Oh no! How do we know that she was a bad guy?
Shazam might have been worse, dude. I don't know. I don't like either of them, Shazam or Quantumania. Those are probably my bottom two.
It was just bland. Like when you think of
but overall, I think
any effort into this movie when it came to like writing.
I think Shazam, I could agree. I'd agree. I'll switch over to Shazam.
I think it was just very basic, just okay movie, you know? Whereas I think Black Adam had great action. It had great CGI. I think Flash, even though a lot of people hate on it, it had some good aspects. Like there was some good comedy. Michael Keaton was great. Supergirl was great. What can you say about Shazam that like was absolutely great? You know, there's
that's where I'm coming from.
Yeah, all the aspects of it were
Flash
average.
movie for personal reasons, but like as just a movie itself, yeah, pretty much you said it exactly. I can say certain good things about the Flash movie. I don't really have any good things to say about Shazam.
Even Ant-Man had Kang.
And same goes. Yeah, exactly. I don't like Quantumania, but there are good things I can say about it, where the only one I can't really do that for is Shazam, Fury of the Gods. So
I disagree because I really like the dude that plays Billy Batson. I think he did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
I think those are redeeming qualities that are better than the redeeming qualities of the Flash. Like I didn't need a 70-year-old Michael Keaton Batman cameo or any of the other cameos.
Actually, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna switch over to you with the Flash because I don't think the Flash is necessarily a worse movie than the others, but I think it's the worst in the sense that it shouldn't even exist. It should have never came out.
Yeah,
the first Flash movie ever should not have been Ezra Miller. It shouldn't have been Flashpoint. It shouldn't have been.
We're voting what's the best or the worst comic book movie, which means like what movie took your material and turned it.
Then definitely Flash.
It's Flash.
Then definitely Flash because it did Flashpoint unbelievably wrong.
And I love the movie.
Flash,
like I really do. I know people hate on me for it, but I love the movie. But I love it as the same reason I love BVS. Like I love it as a movie.
Exactly.
But looking at it as a comic book movie, it is pretty trash.
If we're looking at it that way, the redeeming factors of the Flash movie have nothing to do with the comic books. So everything comic booky about it sucks.
True.
So Flash, cool with that. Very cool with that.
Yeah, I was Shazam just because I do think overall it's the most average of the movies. And as a movie, I think it's the worst. But as a comic book movie, I will give it to the Flash. Even though it's a 9, I think it's a 9 personally. But for the same reason, BVS, it's not Batman, it's not Superman, it's not the Flash.
I had a good time seeing the Flash, but it's because I'm not a big Flash guy or DC guy like you guys are. But I don't know. I enjoyed it. And like Michael Keaton, like I love those. Like those are some of my favorite Batman movies. And when he's like, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts." Like I legit almost lost it in the theater. But like I can come eye to eye with you guys and level with you on that, I guess.
Flash it is.
I feel like Shazam had a lot of the elements were like 6s and 7s. The Flash had like some 9s and some like 2s. So what's better, to have a very average movie or to have a movie that's just full of horrible stuff and some good stuff?
Right. I mean, and like Shazam had Mary Marvel. So what are we really talking about?
You're right. You're right. Wait, what am I talking about? Best comic movie of the year actually goes to Shazam.
Exactly. No, I mean, especially if we're looking at like, Flash may be a better movie than Shazam and the other ones, but comic book movie, absolutely not. Not even close.
I could agree. What was our fourth one? Do y'all remember what the fourth one was?
Black Adam, but I'm pretty sure it came out in 2022.
Quantumania and Black Adam.
Yeah,
I think it did, bro. I think it came out in like November.
Yeah, I think it was last year.
I might be tripping.
I think it was last year.
I swear. I mean, like, we might be wrong, but I swear it was.
When was Love and Thunder?
Love and Thunder was last year. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Black Adam, I think you may be right. Black Adam did come out like late December.
But either way, I think it's better than all three of the other ones.
Yeah, I agree. I just needed a third.
Not great, but
not great, but good. Yeah.
All right, moving on. We usually only talk about comics and movies, so we are finally putting some shine on the figures. First up, we have the best McFarlane figure of the year via the Hall of Nerds.
Slight work.
First up, we have the Nightfall Batman. Classic, blue and gray and yellow, great suit. Next up, we have the Flashpoint Build-A-Figure Wave Flash. Another great figure. Then we have the Beast Boy Build-A-Figure from the Titans Wave. Another great one. Lastly, slept on sleeper pick, we have Page Puncher Black Manta.
Great.
That came out this year?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Very beginning.
It come out this year.
Wow.
Peak fig.
I agree. I think I was sitting there and I was genuinely thinking Flashpoint Flash, and then I saw that Black Manta figure sitting there, and I was like, this is the cleanest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like,
I mean,
I need it, bro. I need to get it.
It's amazing.
It's genuinely, and the articulation, the Flash articulation is great as well, but the Black Manta articulation, it's like a Marvel legend.
It is really good articulation, and it would be the best if the Flashpoint Flash didn't come out. Be real. This is the best Flash figure before this new amazing Yamaguchi import one that just came out. That thing looks absolutely insane. But as far as like
affordable,
your classic, affordable brands and everything like that, best Flash figure ever. Like, come on.
I agree with you. I like the accessories too. The extra head sculpt and the cowl that like goes around his neck. It's awesome.
Totally. That is a plus. Is the head sculpt? They don't usually come with the unmasked head.
Super rare. Yeah.
But also that Beast Boy Bath is one of the best Build-A-Figures we've got.
That's true. But you gotta buy.
You have to get 4.
You gotta get all.
So it's hard to count that as one figure, if you know what I mean. But
that's fair. I don't know. I'm stuck on Black Manta. I look at that thing every day, and I'm like,
it's amazing. It is amazing.
I'd let you kill my baby.
But my vote's going for Flashpoint Flash.
Yeah, I would. It would be a debate, but I don't have the Black Manta figure, so like I
do have them both. You have them both too, right?
Yeah, I have them both.
Yeah, I mean, they're both fantastic figures. I'm obviously extremely biased towards Flash over Black Manta, but so I'm cool. I wouldn't be mad if Black Manta won, but my vote's Flash.
Matt, do you have them all, or you have the?
No, no. I don't collect barely any McFarlanes.
So Mac, are you even gonna vote or what?
Just vote.
That's fine.
Don't vote. Okay, there won't be a tiebreaker then.
Yeah, exactly.
So
then you lose.
Okay, what are y'all
Flash.
Flash.
Okay, I'm gonna go Black Manta.
Respect, but
so Black Manta officially, Black Manta is the best McFarlane of the year, guys.
Oh no!
My vote counts for 3, so Black Manta wins. No, but for real, Flash figure is amazing. If you can still find it for a decent price, go pick it up. That is our 2023 pick of McFarlane of the year. Last up, this is the last category. We got to give some love to the Marvel Legends. We have the best Marvel Legend of 2023. I think I know which way this one's going. First up, we have the No Way Home Andrew Garfield. Great figure. A lot of people couldn't get their hands on it when it first released, so for them to re-release it, that's pretty great. Next up, we have the Retro Card Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man. Another great figure. Comes with the wings. Comes with the the little web thingy. Great. Then we have the Deadpool Hydra Bob 2-pack, which genuinely has the most accessories I've ever seen in a figure box ever. Lastly, we have the retro card Moon Knight.
Gotta be the retro card Moon Knight. Come on.
I agree. I would probably go the 2-pack if I had it. I saw the pictures and I've seen Max unboxing. It's really dope. But same reason I didn't go Black Manta. I don't have it.
I don't have it either, but out of pure just need for it, I might just vote it just because it's so cool. And I saw your video, all the accessories, especially the little hint to the Ninja Turtles. I don't know if it was you
that
who pointed
was
that
cool.
out. Was it?
That was dope.
The
Yeah.
accessories are
on
nuts.
this video. Yeah,
What was
Yeah,
those?
each accessory like had like the little like purple piece or like the blue piece, and you could tell it was like from the Ninja Turtles. I was like, that's a really dope kind of little Easter egg in there as well.
Yeah.
What was the retail on that 2-pack?
I think it was like
55, right?
55, 60.
Yeah, 50.
Yeah, something like that.
That's usually what the 2-packs are. Like, unless they have
I
the big
missed out.
it's 55.
I missed out. I was
Me
so
too. I
mad.
didn't get it. But like, man, that's tough. Yeah, especially given that I don't have it, it's kind of hard to judge on that. But I mean, me personally, with my collection,
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight is really cool.
Within my collection, I gotta go with the Moon Knight. And
I would,
for what I use figures for, not only like displaying but also posing and stuff like that. In my opinion, I think it's the best. So just for everything in consideration.
Yeah, I mean, like collecting wise, I waited like 4 or 5 years for another all white Moon Knight because the one Walgreens exclusive or whatever was $70. Yeah, whatever it was. Yeah. So I would probably say that was my most anticipated pickup.
I was hyped to find the Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man, but like it's decent. Like I definitely
it's decent, yeah.
The thing about Spider-Man figures is you don't really get much difference. Like it's mostly just a different shade of blue or a different shade of red.
Yeah. Or a little bit different like height,
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
Whereas
like
the Moon Knight, I feel like, it's not like the armored black and white one that we got. It's like a very clean figure. It came with the little crescent like nabby thingies. Yeah. I don't know what they're called. The little moon rings.
The bigger ones and a staff.
Yep.
Yeah, it does come with a lot of accessories. I will say the Deadpool 2-pack had the best and most accessories, but like Stu said, I just don't have it, and I have Moon Knight, and I sit there and mess with it all the time. So
yeah,
I think I just want to throw a quick honorable mention. Speaking of accessories, it made me think about it. That Black Widow that came out fairly recently.
Ooh, true.
I think that deserves to be mentioned. I don't think it's better, but the articulation is absolutely nuts. One of the best woman bodies for Marvel Legend articulation wise. And then
what do you mean by that?
Articulation wise, what I just exactly what I just said. But then
what do you mean by that, Nate?
And it comes with an absurd amount of accessories.
Since you said that, I have another honorable mention. I thought of the Hawkeye with the bike.
Clean. I think it's fire.
I forgot that came out this year.
I forgot that I have that.
I mean, there's a bunch of Heat Marvel Legends this year. I mean, I'm gonna probably make videos about it later.
The Bruce Banner Hulk 2-pack.
Yep. So I was about to say that. Yeah.
100%.
If the 20th anniversary figures had come out this year, that Captain America is genuinely one of the best Marvel Legends they've ever released.
I feel that Blade that just came out. That thing is fire.
And that Daredevil with the beard.
Daredevil, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've been killing it. McFarlane and Marvel Legends have
But my official vote is Moon Knight.
Yeah, same here.
I'm gonna vote Moon Knight. I would go Deadpool if I had it, but Max sucks and won't give me his. So
fair.
Well, that caps off the 2023 Hall of Nerds Awards. Catch us in about 365 and a half days, and we'll do another one.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, if next year's a leap year, then 366 and a half days. I don't know how leap year works, to be honest.
True.
Yeah. Let's move on to the pull list.
What comes out next week? Pull list. This is going to be the first new comic book day of the year.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And number 3, I have Kneel Before Zod.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3. Did I say number 3?
Yeah.
Sorry. Kneel Before Zod. I read the description and it looks dope. He's gonna like have his own like city that he controls, and then he's like, you know what, this is enough. I'm gonna take over everything. And he's got a son who's also gonna freaking beat people up. So I'm down. I'm up for it.
That's main continuity, right?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
So.
And this cover you picked for, I didn't know it was foil. So I'm like, is it?
Ooh, that's good pick, actually.
Yeah, now that the fact that it's foil, it's like, yeah, I might have to pick that one up.
I think the lettering and the outline is the part
that's what I'm hoping. If that's the case, then I'm copping. If it's all foil, I'll probably pass. Sick. Just the gold, that's a cop.
For real. Number 2, I got Titans Beast World Atlantis. I don't know if y'all read the Central City one. I looked through it and I was like, this is kind of wordy. I was like, this is kind of wordy. And then I sat down and read it. The best one.
Best one by far.
Easily. It was so great. Really so I'm excited for this one because I like the Atlantis aspect. I like Aquaman. Black Manta's going to be a big part. So hyped to see what they do for this tie-in. But number 1, I got to go Batman 141. This David Finch cover. Amazing. I'm hyped to see what happens. Zur-En-Arrh finally is in failsafe. It's finna go down. Super hyped. My variant of the week, though, is going to go to Blue Beetle number 5 by Ivan Reyes. I love Ivan Reyes' art, and he just captured like the Blue Beetle with the electricity. I am a sucker for covers with like electricity on it. That is going to be my variant of the week.
Yeah, straight peak.
Number
3 for me, I got Shazam number 7. And I'm hoping to pick up this DNA cover. Y'all know me, DNA to go. However, unfortunately, this cover is an incentive, a 1 in 25. So get it while you can, y'all.
There's not going to be much negative space when I'm done with that.
Real. Number 2, DC Birds of Prey number 5. This book is genuinely might be perfect. The story is awesome. The art is absolutely amazing, and this variant cover is sick.
That cover is sick.
Yep. Number 1 though, just like Brandon said, how could it not be Batman 141? It's going down. I need that A cover. And my cover of the week, Brandon already said it. It's too peak.
All right, and then my number 3 of the week is Vengeance of the Moon Knight number 1. As far as I know, this is going to be the next ongoing Moon Knight, so I am very hyped to read this.
Oh, yeah. That cover is dope.
So clean. Next up at number 2, I got Shazam issue number 7. This is going to be Shazam versus Black Adam. I cannot wait to see this, and it's I'm hyped.
Let's fucking go.
And then lastly, like Nate, like Brandon, I got Batman 141. I can't wait to see what happens with Failsafe and Zur. Now I'm at like 1 person. That's insane.
Facts. Comeback player of the year, by the way.
We'll call back.
And then as well, I got the same variant for Blue Beetle issue number 5. This thing is just, it's heat.
It's that good.
It's clean.
All right, from my number 3, we got Thanos.
Is he fighting Goku Hulk?
Dude, yeah.
Pretty much.
I didn't even realize that was his hair. Holy cow! Yeah, I thought that was
that's what I was.
Oh my
god!
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the flow in the current run.
Yeah, that's true. His hair is pretty long, but I'm excited to see where this run goes.
Oh yeah,
he's gonna get pieced up just like the Avengers movie.
Yeah, for real. That's what I'm thinking. Hellboy Giant Robot. I just finished the Hellboy Compendium, and oh my gosh, I loved it. And I've been reading this one. I've always loved Hellboy. It's the 3rd of 3, and I'm liking it. I like it.
Looks lit.
And then first one, we got the Vengeance of the Moon Knight. I'm excited to start this because I don't like to start runs in the middle of stuff, so I didn't start this last Moon Knight run, but I'm excited to start this, and I want to collect all of it. I already know it's going to be good. Oh, yeah. And then I picked this one out because, 1, I like anything with like galaxy art. I love it, but I have like a collection of ROM comic books that I have never read, but I think ROM is so cool, and I actually think after this I might start reading those. So we're gonna see.
I've never heard of ROM.
Dope.
Oh.
I've heard about ROM. I don't know too much about them, but that is a very good looking cover.
Yeah.
But as you can see, that Blue Beetle variant goes crazy, and there's a lot of heat coming out and all that good stuff. But before we check out for this episode, we want to wish everybody a happy New Year's, happy holidays, everything like that. Appreciate everyone for supporting us throughout this year. 2024 is going to be even better. Y'all boys got anything else to say? Or
yes, I would also like to give a special thanks to Nate, because He does all of our editing. He does all of our posting, handles all of our socials, and we genuinely could not do that without him. Nate, we got something for you. Stay right there.
What? Wait a second.
Nate, I will be shipping this to you in the next couple days. All the guys pitched in, and as a special thanks to you for all you've done on the Hall of Nerds podcast, we got you all 3 Jeff Johns Flash omnibuses.
No way. Was that what you were asking me?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
Man,
asking.
that's crazy, y'all.
We wanted to make sure you didn't have them. We know how much work you put in, and we really appreciate it. And
dang. Man, that I really appreciate you guys. That's awesome, man. I mean, I'll talk to you guys more off this, but I really appreciate that. That's dope. I can't do it without you guys either. I can't edit videos if y'all ain't in them. So I appreciate you guys just as much.
That'll do it.
With that being said, that'll do it for this episode of the Hall of Nerds podcast.
Make sure you tune in next week for our first episode of the new year.
Nerd on.
Nerd out.
Let's go.
Yeah, fellas.